What's up, people? Have you ever had one of those days where you get up all motivated and finally, after changing outfits 3 times, you leave the house feeling good about how you look? I mean, to look good is to be good, right? But then, a few hours later, when you arrive at your destination, you find yourself staring at someone or some magazine ad thinking, wow, I'd like to have one of those. In fact, it's a lot better than mine. Man, I wish my arms looked like his, or I'd die for her figure. I mean, come on. You had no idea that your shoes were the whack until you compared them to somebody else's that you thought looked better. Here's something for you to chew on. The feeling of inferiority kills your spirit and your motivation. And believe it or not, that's precisely how advertisers keep you buying their new and oftentimes not improved stuff, because they keep preying on your feeling of inferiority. That handsome guy or the gorgeous lady wearing that cool new whatever, sporting that sleek physique, it speaks to your psyche. It tells you if you obtain that, you will be as cool as that person walking down the street, in the gym, or that model in the ad. I can assure you that not one person who ever attempted to become someone other than themselves have ever achieved 1 ounce of long-term success or contentment. I say be who you are. One of the biggest sources of human jealousy, frustration, and unfriendly competitiveness and inferiority is when you start comparing your stuff to other people's stuff. But since this is a fitness tip, I'm going to stay on point. But know this, these principles can be applied to every area of your life whenever you decide to go off on a comparison tangent. Often people approach me and they say, yo, bro, how'd you get your forearms like that? And I usually say, I was born August of 1965. They usually laugh, and I go on to tell them that I never truly trained them. In fact, they're genetic. God gave them to me. As a kid, people used to laugh at me and call me Popeye, and they weren't being kind. It's probably why I started weight training in the first place. My calves and forearms always overshadowed the rest of my physique, and people made comments about them. And I always encourage people to be the best that they can be, and don't compare themselves to others. Now, I appreciate the compliment, but when you compare yourself to others, one of 2 things happens. Either you begin to feel really good about yourself, which translates to pride and ego, or you begin to feel really bad about yourself, which translates to inferiority. These emotions are completely detrimental to your ultimate success. I say again, be who you are. You were created to be you, so why on earth would you put forth effort and energy and time trying to be somebody else? It's too exhausting. Plus, imitations are cheap. Embrace who you are and task yourself to be the best you that you can be. But be it for you, not for anyone else, or don't compare yourself to anyone or what they may have. Right? Because there's always somebody bigger, there's always somebody better, there's always somebody smarter, and there's always somebody uglier. But we're not talking about that. People ask me sometimes in the gym, they say, are you training for a competition? I tell them, yeah, I'm training for the competition of life, to be the better me today than I was yesterday. This embetterment don't stop at the physical, but it encompasses the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, and anything else you can think of that will make you better. I even want to be a better fisherman next year than I was this year. And Lord knows that ain't asking much. I am here to remind you that you're either getting better or you getting worse. There are no standstills. Embrace who you are and become the best that you can be. The only comparison you should ever make is that of your own self. Don't compare your physique to somebody else's. Compare it to yours yesterday. Don't compare your intelligence to somebody else's. Compare it to yours yesterday. Focus on being a better you every single day of your life in all areas. Then, and only then, will you flourish in everything that you put your hand to. Now, I know you don't like hearing this because many of you have forgotten who you really are because you've been so busy trying to be somebody else. But it is what it is. So stop being a carbon copy because you were created to be an original. And you just heard that from the Todd.